Welcome back to MCU Mondays on Geek News Now. I am Chris, also known as Vase of It's a Vase Productions. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Debbie, and we got David with us down below. All of us are members of the Geek News Now team. You can check out more about Geek News Now by going to geeknewsnow.net, and also check it out on Facebook. There's a contest going right now. Every month we have a different contest. This one actually is, look at that, we're giving away some DVDs, Spider-Man themed DVDs, and there's a Carnage and Venom giveaway. I think you need to be a member of the GNN Greats to be involved with that, but get involved, win some stuff. Totally worth it. Boom, give it a like. Yeah, so if you want to win some contests, go over to the Geek News Now Facebook page. Anyway, getting to the show, we got some great what if to talk about today. Marvel Zombies. I really enjoyed things about this episode. I had some problems too, of course, but
nothing's perfect. Nothing's ever perfect.
And I'm going to point it out. All right, let's dig into the flaw. Yeah. Pick the splinter or the plank out of my own eye before I go checking out splinters of others. But anyway, how else can you critique something? Aside from that, we'll get to that. We'll get to the Marvel Zombies. There's a lot to talk about there. But first, we're going to talk about the Hawkeye trailer that just dropped today. That's for the Hawkeye series that's coming up. And as we do on this show, we have an obligatory Hawkeye clip.
With this collar on, my superpower is just
unbridled cancer. Give me a bow and arrow, I'm basically Hawkeye.
All right, so that's a Deadpool
Knew that was
clip.
coming.
But the joke is, he's Hawkeye amongst all the Avengers. What's a guy with a bow and arrow going to do? And my favorite part about Hawkeye is that he's self-aware of that fact. He brings it up. But anyway, there's a new trailer. Let's see, that came out. Oh no. And I lost it, so now I have to re-upload it. But then we're going to take a look at that. Let's see. And so you guys have already seen the trailer. Why don't you tell me what you thought real fast? Oh, you know what? Actually, I got it.
Whoop. This is the first Christmas we've had together in years.
I love you guys. I'm making up for some lost time.
Authorities are wondering if the masked vigilante who terrorized the city's underworld is back.
The past has caught up with me.
Should we be worried?
No, it's nothing. I'll be home for Christmas. I promise.
Jingle all the way.
When I wore this suit, I made a whole lot of enemies.
You're a Hawkeye.
Who the hell are you?
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Are you one of those people?
It's the most wonderful.
Hey, babe, I should be back in a day or two. Hang on a second.
With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling.
Things have gotten more complicated.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful.
This is too dangerous. Definitely not this one.
You don't have to say definitely like that. Holy shit! There are arrows more dangerous than that one?
Oh, it's just some Christmas.
Didn't see that coming. What did you guys think of this trailer?
Very Die Hard vibe, which, by the way, is my favorite Christmas movie. I watch it every Christmas.
I'm just anxious to see Rogers the musical.
That's
all I
the
wanna see.
musical. It's like Hamilton, just the last name. Rogers the musical. There's lots to work with there. They even showed a little clip of them dancing. That's
yeah. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be good. What'd you think of the big time like holiday vibe that they've injected into it?
It's going to be the next Christmas classic. It'll be one of those ones where you got to sit around and watch it sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Classic Christmas miniseries.
Sure, why not? But see, by next Christmas, it'll all be out all at once, and you just sit down and binge the whole thing.
Well, yes, of course, watch it all at once. Nothing says Christmas like Molotov cocktails.
I thought that move was pretty great. He just catches it and just throws it right back at him.
Is he ever going to stay retired? That's the question.
I noticed
come back out of retirement 5 times now.
The wife was missing, so either I'm assuming they're divorced, maybe.
I didn't.
Oh, I doubt it.
I didn't. Was there?
She got snapped back. Probably. Was she somewhere else?
Was she not at the dinner table scene right there at the first?
Nope.
I didn't even notice.
Nope.
I can't imagine that they're split up unless it's because something like him still doing stuff like this and he's in trouble because of that. But that would be upsetting to me. I liked their relationship. That was one of the best parts of like Age of Ultron was his wife and the things that their interaction. And this is an agent. These are smaller agents. Find out about his family. But he also, I mean, he doesn't want to bring this danger upon his family, but he also probably doesn't leave this chick out to hang out to dry. Now, look, she's wearing his uniform too, like the Ronin uniform. So that's probably how they get involved. He's like, someone's running around, getting in trouble. Like, people are going to be trying to like the Yakuza or whatever, since he was murdering them and whoever else he was going after when he was that. We're probably going to be trying to get revenge. And so he's going to feel responsible in that reason. And also there's one point where she like shoots a bell there, right here. Right when she says, I'm like the greatest archer ever. And like, it does that. So it could also be like, he feel like it's irresponsible just letting her go destroy things. But definitely the vibe of it, like the Christmas vibe, I knew, like, you knew it was going to be actiony, but the comedy that they're also throwing into it, I'm really enjoying that. Like when she like comes in right here and just kind of flops, you know?
No superhero pose for her.
Yeah. There's no like superhero landing, you know. There's humor when they're talking about shooting the arrows there at the end. I'm like, you have more dangerous arrows than that. And he's just like, ooh, yeah. And it's like, well, I shut down most of a helicarrier one time with a single arrow, but he was also mind controlled at that point. Let's see, we got some comments here. Andrew, thanks for joining us. He said the Christmas vibe helps set it apart from everything else. Yeah, it's definitely like the only other Christmas Marvel movie was like Iron Man 3, and that one was like, so you can definitely compete with that one. People were not super happy about that one. Let's see. Home Alone.
There's
Miracles on 34th Street and Hawkeye.
What about Christmas Story? We need a Christmas Story in there. Come on now.
Yeah.
Especially since that kid was involved with the first Iron Man movie.
And probably we're gonna get some. Is it Lethal Weapon? I'm getting too old for this shit.
Well, there was that one scene where he sits back in the chair and he slaps the cold pack on his head, and that's where it'll be, is right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was saying. Like, he's been talking about retiring. He said he's been retiring so much. And Debbie, I didn't think about her, because that right there, isn't that their family? Or is that him with his daughter, I guess?
Daughter and 2 sons.
Yeah, no wife.
His wife isn't there.
Huh.
Maybe they just couldn't get her, the actress, but I would imagine she would be.
That's the same girl that played Velma on the Scooby-Doo movies. I can't think of her name.
And she was in Freaks and Geeks. I can't remember her name right now either. You'll shoot your eye out, Hawkeye.
There you go.
What I found interesting was the font for the show where it says Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same as the Hawkeye comic series by Matt Fraction.
Yeah, I've seen people commenting on like the video, on the trailer, different things like that. A lot of the comic fans are saying that there's. I saw someone say that it looked, some of the scenes from this trailer look like they were ripped right out of the comics, and they were very glad to see that. So that's something awesome because, you know, I haven't really read Hawkeye comic. The only comics I ever really read were some Spider-Man and X-Men ones. I never would like be like, oh, Hawkeye, I got to get that. You know, I'm not like a collector. If I'm going to get something, it's going to be one of my favorites. So I don't know his comics necessarily, but for people that do, it's always great when they're comic accurate as much as possible. That's a good thing to have in your movies, and the fans really enjoy that kind of thing. And it looks like they've got a great chemistry going here. I also love the name of this truck. I don't know if you guys caught it, or the company. Trust a bro. I assume that's the truck that's chasing them, and those are bad guys. Otherwise, sorry, bro. You just got roasted, bro.
I kind of wonder if it's shoot, I can't remember his name, but the going back to the Hawkeye comic series, it's a Russian mob, and there's one particular Russian who always says bro, which is kind of weird for a Russian, but
take it easy, bro.
Yeah. So I kind of wonder if that's a Russian connection there, if that's who they actually are, because when he's sitting in the chair and he's got the mob in front of him, I wonder if they're Russian.
Well, and we know that Yelena's supposed to be in this as well from the Black Widow movie, so there's Russian ties right there. And, you know, he's been killing people for 5 years or whatever in Infinity War, so who knows?
It's Mephisto.
After Infinity War. It's Mephisto.
Mephisto
Trust a bro. Mephisto confirmed.
I think this looks like a fun series, maybe kind of in the lines of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I think it looks more fun. Well, that I think they could have had more fun with. This, there's definitely like heavy tones of comedy in this. It's almost like fun for the whole family, and then like, oh, again, the Molotov cocktails and like monsters on fire. But when you throw in the music and everything, it's like,
You're Hawkeye.
Who the hell are you?
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Are you one of those people?
It's the most wonderful.
Hey, babe, I should be back in a day or two. Hang on a second.
With the kids jingle belling and everyone.
literally they were saying it's the most wonderful time of the year, right when the Molotov cocktail's coming out. So like that's humor. That's all of this tied together, and the cold pack and everything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna make a call here because he answered the phone and he said, "Hey, babe." Now that could have been the daughter. He could have been talking to the daughter, but he also could have been talking to his wife. He was obviously with his kids in New York. Maybe he just took the kids to New York for Christmas, and mom stayed home. Mom stayed home with the baby because didn't they have
staycation? Right? Wasn't she?
She was pregnant in Age of Ultron. So wouldn't she have had? They have a young one.
They were all snapped away though, so
he'd still be
they
young.
haven't aged. Well, yeah, it would still be young.
So
I don't know.
Maybe mom just stayed at home.
Mom's home with the baby.
That's right.
Could be.
I'll call it. That's my theory.
As good explanation as ever. Yeah, it seems like they're all kind of gathered on the table there.
Plus the one scene where he puts the kids in the car to drive off. It's like, okay, I'm sending you to the airport, and I'll be back in a little bit. So
yeah, we'll have to see exactly what happened. It seems like, just from this, he's gonna see her on the news wearing that costume that they just showed him murdering mobsters in. So he's probably gonna feel, and there's the scene where he sends all the kids. So yeah, that sets if that all happens in like the first episode, that sets them up for whatever they're gonna be doing the rest of the time. That's why, like, even in this trailer, we don't see any of like Yelena or who they're actually fighting or what's really happening. Like, what's not really much of the plot other than they're going to be getting together and causing some holiday mischief. knocking down bell towers. I'm pretty sure that was a mistake.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, I just most wonderful time.
And that's my favorite Christmas carol, by the way, so that just made it all the better.
It is a good one. They really went full throttle with that Christmas theme, though, with the music this holiday season.
The poster was out too, and it had it screamed Christmas.
It's much brighter, not visually, but like tone wise than a lot of other things that have come out. Like Loki, there was like mischievous, but it was heavy on drama. Even Falcon and Winter Soldier, like mystery. WandaVision, you didn't really know. This one's just like, we're gonna have fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think
because
that's
it's
good.
Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye, like I said, he's self-aware. He gets it.
Yeah, he makes fun of himself.
Okay, so that's Hawkeye. That's coming out, obviously, this holiday season. I'm definitely looking forward to that way more now than I was. I was expecting just to watch it because I watch everything MCU related, but now I'm actually looking forward to it. So that's a good trailer right there. Maybe it's just the music, but I don't think so. I like the humor. I liked her interactions with him. It looks like it's going to be fun.
Don't use that one. It's too dangerous. There's one more dangerous than that one?
That face that he makes after
Maybe.
This, pretty good stuff. So yeah, that looks like it's going to be great. One more for the road.
With this collar on, my superpower is just unbridled cancer. Give me a bow and arrow, I'm basically Hawkeye.
There you go.
Geek and I. Spoiler alert. Plot. Someone stealing the charity money from Duncan's toy chest.
It was Harry and Marv. That was the toy store in Home Alone 2. Lost in New York.
Oh my goodness. Too many holiday movies to watch. We're not going to have time to watch Hawkeye.
I think Hawkeye will take precedent.
Yeah, most likely. It's new.
Of course.
So anyway, next what we got is What If? This week's episode of What If was Marvel Zombies, and I just gotta say, they don't waste any time. They kind of get right into the zombies. What's up with these zombies? They could still do magic. They could still, even if there weren't superheroes, let's take superheroes out of the equation and just talk about these zombies for a second. These are zombies that could still use guns if they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like drive cars if it would seem. What do you guys think about these zombies?
It was go ahead. Go ahead.
The zombies in the comics were the virus was called the Hunger in the comics, and this particular virus was able to let the zombies still be pretty much functional. I mean, they could still think and do things and like they would normally a normal person would do. So when the Avengers got infected, they were still able to do everything. They just, wanted to eat flesh and brains.
That's because even if there weren't superheroes and you just had these type of zombies, like, that's dangerous as heck. Like way more dangerous than like a regular zombie. Yes, it's claws and biting and stuff. This one's like, well, maybe I'll shoot you in the leg first, and then that's like all these zombies are too smart. Like that's the thing is they're supposed to be dumb. That's why they're after brains. But what do we got, AntMan over here? Although I did want to say that was another thing that I think this episode kind of struggled with, and a lot of the what ifs have struggled with a little, is the tone. And the tone on this one is like back and forth and back and forth. It's like, let me make as many jokes as I can fit into a second. The beginning with Hulk just being like, oh, ew, gross. Yeah, we get it. Hulk's squeamish. But he just keeps going on and on. And then also on the other side of it, like, okay, what is that for? They're throwing all this humor at it, is like the zombies and the ultra violence that they had going on there, and some of it was really like cutting Cap in half. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but the tonal shifts right back and forth, just like
Just giving it a little balance, you know.
That's right. Gotta take the good
I mean,
with
but
that.
there should be some, but it feels like there's too many attempts at humor in this, like too many. Although when Ant-Man did it, I was mostly just enjoying it. But that's like his character. He always was like that.
Dad jokes.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that upset me about Ant-Man was the whole Futurama thing.
Head in a jar.
That was
The
awesome.
head in a jar. I was like, oh,
I enjoy that. I'm
come
looking
on.
forward to all the memes on the Futurama meme pages that I'm part of. There've already been a couple.
I don't doubt it.
I really enjoyed this episode, especially after how dark Doctor Strange's episode was. I mean, yeah, this was gory and kind of dark, but it also had a lot of humor, which I enjoyed, and I got a lot of the jokes, which sometimes I don't. But this one I did.
and even though it kind of ended on a down note, I mean, they made it to Wakanda and they were fine, but they lost a lot of people doing it. And they didn't find a cure for it. I mean, obviously the zombies, it was still.
He said they were doomed.
They still we've got hope. It was.
Well, no, the Watcher says right afterwards, it's like humans or whatever. It's impressive that they'll always still have hope, even when they're doomed. And then right after that, it shows like the zombies at Wakanda and Thanos there with all of the gems except for Zombie Thanos.
Zombie Thanos, yes.
With all the gems except that one. So they're basically going right to him.
I have a feeling, probably not this season, but maybe the second season, they'll revisit this particular episode. And because some of the other episodes, they've had a somewhat definitive ending. This one did not. It kind of left it like a cliffhanger. So I'm calling it. I think we might get a part 2, if not this season, next season.
The Loki episode also ended on a cliffhanger. That was like literally, let's thaw out Steve Rogers and Captain Marvel shows up. That's basically setting it up for like part 2 to fight against Loki with Captain America, Captain Marvel, and whoever else they can. I guess Black Panther would possibly be there.
No, Black Panther's up in space with.
Well, that was a different timeline. Maybe, I don't know.
You don't
Who
know.
knows? I don't. You're right, but he was on Earth in this one. So
they're going to tie it all together, and then Doctor Strange is going to break out of his little cell and destroy everything.
Well, with a what if scenario, anything's possible. Although the one thing I don't like about that, people are just now, they're just like, well, with what if anything's canon, everything's canon. I was like, learn the word prime timeline. All right, say it with, like, you know, like what is. What's the one that I care about? Okay. Yes, it's great that we can do all these other things, but there's one where their lives are real. Okay. I'm kind of hoping that Spider-Man gets into that type of deal. If we are going to have multiple Spider-Men, as has been
rumored,
theorized,
not holding my breath.
Daredevil.
No, actually, I think Charlie Cox came out last week or week before and said that is definitely not me.
Oh, well, there's an IMAX trailer that shows like the bottom half of his face, and it's not. Everyone that's watched Daredevil knows what the bottom half of Charlie, you know, what his face looks like. That's the part you can see. But no, you can also kind of see his eye, and it's not him. And yeah, he also said that it's not him. But that doesn't mean that he could be in a different part of the movie. You're right. It doesn't mean that. That's
exactly. It doesn't.
But it also doesn't mean that he is. You know, it's. There's no gap. Mephisto confirmed. It's very funny. What if they put Mephisto into one of the what ifs? I think people would lose it.
That would be nice.
We could finally say Mephisto confirmed, and it is. He's there.
There he is.
Prime timeline. Anyway, and what with the possible Sony split still? and the Spider-Verse. There's always gonna. What a shame that'll be. There's another timeline of reality where Marvel's owned by one studio,
All of Marvel is on,
and you can see, all the heroes together: X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the Spider-Man. Only in cartoons right now. What'd you guys think of Spider-Man in this episode with his zombie survival?
Well, that kind of goes back to Spider-Man Far From Home, where he does his video journaling. So, that's what that reminded me of. I thought it was funny.
I'm glad you said that, because that's not anything what I thought of. What I thought of was Zombieland. Here's your rules for surviving Zombieland. Always double tap. Cardio.
Cardio. Wear your seatbelt.
What'd you guys think about the Doctor Strange's cape, who I thought was kind of pretty much the hero of the show?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of memes that are just like, let's just make the cape an official Avenger, just by itself, like Doctor Strange over here and his cape over here.
When do we get the Cape movie? We want the Cape movie.
The Cape. Actually, that's infringement, because they tried to make a whole show that was just called The Cape. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was like one season of it, and he used his cape to like do stuff, and it was just, that's why there was one season. But and he couldn't fly. It's not like it was a magic cape. It was just like it was weird. The Cape. A Community makes fun of it a couple times. Okay, let's just see if I can pull something up here. What did you guys think of the Hulk in this? Some people are calling it redemption because he actually fights.
I don't know about redemption. I like the idea that Banner almost got bit, and Hulk changed his arm so that it wouldn't penetrate the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he finally goes out to fight the zombies, I think still to this day he's still fighting those zombies. I don't think they ever overpower him.
Well, the thing is, he's not alone. Scarlet Witch is still... Zombie Scarlet Witch is there, so that's the question. I agree with you. The zombies by themselves, I don't think could take down Hulk. Scarlet Witch zombie being there,
that adds a new level to the playing field.
Yeah, although they didn't definitively, again, like Debbie was saying, there wasn't a definitive end to this one. We don't see what happens to Bruce
or Bucky. I mean, we see him getting flung, but
yeah,
he could still be alive too.
Now, what I'm wondering is, when they're almost escaping, and Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp or whatever, grabs onto the thing. She's huge. When she died, or when she was first like delivering them and setting them down, I was like, okay, now shrink. Okay, now shrink. What are you doing?
Why are you staying big?
That means you're going to be a giant zombie. And I was foreshadowing,
Yeah, I saw that one coming
right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
It's like you're falling down huge. Okay.
Here we go. Big zombie coming up.
But so she grabs onto the jet, and then they put on like the hyper thrusters, and she like chucks a guy at him. And this guy bounces off the wing and then falls into the crowd of zombies below. I was wondering if that was, I don't think it is, if that was Bruce turning back into Bruce. Yeah.
No, because he's got a shirt on.
Yeah, he's got a shirt on. He ripped out of that when he turned into the Hulk. But I was like, did she just huck some guy? Yeah, some guy. And you hear him go, he bounces off the outside of the jet. It's like, what a bitter. That's like, just like if you ran out of bullets, you just chuck the gun after someone. It's like, just throw that gun. You need to go get that, right? Like, they're just a zombie, so it doesn't really matter. But it was what a great throw. Really did appreciate that.
Hilarious. That's what used to happen in those old Superman shows with George Reeves. They'd sit there and empty the 6-shooter at him, and he'd sit there and take it, Superman. And then they'd throw the gun at him, and he'd duck out of the way of the gun.
Oh no, not a gun!
Not the gun!
My
No!
own weakness. Bullets I'm immune to. Guns, lethal. What's it gonna do?
Another good one was, I thought it was funny. Happy when he's using Tony Stark's palm thingy. He's going around saying blam, 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 blam. And then even after he turns into a zombie, he's still saying blam, 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 blam. That's pretty typical for him.
I like the shirt.
Step 1, long sleeves. See, rules for surviving Zombieland.
That's probably just because Peter, that's probably just because Peter wouldn't let him wear the one that says I'm saving myself for Aunt May. Because we know he's got the hots for her.
And also, this was the first, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, first name drop in the MCU for Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben, it sure was. I was actually thinking about that. I was like, oh, there's an Uncle Ben reference. Okay.
Yeah, Bucky.
Animated.
He's
naked,
pretty cut there. Woohoo!
Bionic Man. Check out this cyborg with the stars and stripes. I like how their whole point there was just like, you're not as when you're naked, you're at your weakest. And they're like, observe as we sneak up on Bucky Barnes. Great idea. Although notice how Bucky goes for the guy without the superpowers.
But
Sure he's gotten his ass kicked by
I was actually kind of
Spider-Man.
I was kind of glad they brought him back too. From that's the guy. I'm assuming that's the guy from AntMan.
Yeah, that's the Russian guy.
The little Russian guy from AntMan. So
Baba Yaga.
He was fun. He's always fun.
That's what he called the villain in the second Ant-Man. He was like Baba Yaga the witch. So it's funny to actually when he said that again in this, he was actually talking about a witch. What do you think happens when zombie Thanos snaps?
Well, my theory is instead of everybody turning to dust, he actually maybe creates new humans because the zombies are going to need more food. Just a theory.
No idea. Because like you said, this virus enables them to like pursue, like use objects like guns and Iron Man suits and shields and stuff. And clearly they're not as great as they were before. Like Cap literally gets split in half by getting a shield thrown at him. I don't think that would happen to like a fully strong Captain America. But still, like they're able to use the Falcon's flying around in his Falcon suit with one arm. I mean, he gets split in half. That was crazy, by the way.
That reminded me of fun fact. I don't know if anybody knows, but the lady who plays, what's her name? Okoye?
Okay.
The general?
Mm-hmm.
It's Michonne on The Walking Dead.
Michonne.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Nobody tells me anything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she looks different because in The Walking Dead, she has
Yeah,
of
really
dreads.
long hair. But yeah, she does that same move in The Walking Dead where she splits them right in half, right down the middle. Yep.
Looked like somebody already tried to take him out.
Now see here. Okay, so here's a question then. Zombie Thanos does not have the Mind Stone, but according to this episode, the Mind Stone put out some kind of frequency that the zombies didn't like.
could do that,
or it could
and
do that.
Vision made it do that. But as soon as he ripped it out of his own head,
Why did he do that?
Hilarious, by the way. His reasoning. I love how he's like, okay,
He's like-
yeah, let's talk about Vision. Here we go. Let's talk about Vision. He's luring innocent people, still alive people, who the only people still alive at this point are basically like superheroes. He's luring superheroes in to feed Scarlet Witch, who he somehow
Still in love with?
got locked up as well. Like, how did you contain her at all? And I like how they're like, oh no, you shot the glass, and then the cracks, and she starts to use it. And I'm just like, how Scarlet Witch is she? Because I don't think you could contain her.
Well, and then he says, "Oh, I've got to atone for this." So you kill yourself? How does that atone for?
Yeah, and then
it?
he rips the. Yeah, it's like
What?
I didn't attempt. You didn't.
Well, I guess he
You've
was
been
hoping.
doing us all more than we already were.
I guess he was hoping that, you know, the Wakandans, you know, like Shuri or somebody could figure out the frequency that's needed to.
But why not walk over there with your
Yes.
zombie keeping away thing the whole time and let them
Thank
study
you.
it? And then the whole thing was also in Infinity War. We know that it's possible to take it out of his head without killing him. It's possible. No one's done it so far yet, but it is possible.
Well, he couldn't leave Wanda, although he technically did by killing himself.
By killing himself. Yes.
Boom. Roasted. Okay, but again, even when he's talking about luring people in, he's like, you know what? You may be questioning my motives or whatever, but I assure you it's all logical. Or he says something like that.
Mhm.
And then he rips the stone out of his head later. I'm just like, I don't think you're as smart as you think you are in this reality. I think you've got a screw loose, Metal Man. You're making some really weird choices. Why did you just rip the stone out of your head? That was the only thing keeping the zombies. Even if you wanted to like give up a sacrifice, and if you wanted to sacrifice yourself, that's not the time to do it.
Wait till you're in Wakanda. Wakanda's a safe zone. We know that. Get
soon,
to Wakanda. Plot holes.
Speaking of which, look who's back. And not a zombie.
Yeah, it's weird that Vision. Well, I thought it was weird. Vision didn't just let Wanda, you know, like tear into him. He just like cut off parts and just.
Well, because he's
fresh
slowly feeding them.
Yeah.
It was just
also that happened in The Walking Dead too. A black guy, the cannibals ate his leg, but he had actually been bitten by a zombie, so he was like, "You're eating tainted meat." So that didn't happen in this, but. Eerily, the similarities that are going. I guess that it's zombies. So
that's zombies.
Well,
that's a common theme in zombies. Flesh.
Another fun fact. Well, maybe I'm the only one who just discovered this, but the guy who wrote the zombie Marvel movie or Marvel comics also wrote The Walking Dead.
Kirkman. I think that's his name. I forget. Anyway,
I just thought that was a fun fact of the day.
I'm glad that the cape of levitation,
the cape got the head, so it's almost like he has a body.
It stopped. Yeah, well, it flies him around. It's certainly better than what he was doing, which was sitting in a swivel chair that he couldn't control. It wasn't automated. That was one of the jokes at the beginning. What? This thing's supposed to turn around. I ruined my entrance. Yeah, head in a jar, Ant-Man.
And this is the second episode that Hank Pym basically wiped out the Avengers.
I mean,
time.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't really his fault as much this time. Like the first time, that's what his goal was. This time, it was just a weird side effect of the quantum mania. That's literally what they said. It's like, how did this virus start? It's like Quantumverse. Well, wait, how did it? She was there for 30 years. Zombie now.
It's the Force. It was the Force. It's always the Force.
That's not how the Force works.
we gotta have some kind of scapegoat.
Wanda, you've looked better.
Yeah.
I'm still Vision and his decision to rip the stone out of his head.
hilarious.
Why did you do that?
Well, and Wanda, her reaction, I mean, for a zombie.
She cried, didn't she? She
Yeah,
sat down
I mean-
and cried like she did in Infinity War.
Yeah, so that, it's just like, okay, zombies crying. Zombies get emotional.
Yeah, and it's literally as soon as he takes this thing out of his head that the zombies start walking forward.
Yeah.
Like there's the bright flash of light of when he takes it out, and then the glow hits the zombies, or like the light, and then they're just like, okay, time to go in.
Because the signal stopped.
Yeah. What are you doing, Vision? Severe lack of vision. And other people have said that Deadpool was in this.
I didn't see it.
Well, they said, I'll show
Mephisto.
No, okay, see that guy in the red there to the right?
Uh-huh.
So people saw that and were like, hey, that guy's got two swords. Is that Deadpool? First of all, his face isn't messed up enough to be Deadpool.
He's got hair.
Dubstep's like pussies. You're so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe? I love dubstep.
Yeah, so, and those aren't swords. Like when you look at it, they're just like two pieces of rebar or something going through.
Well, he's got hair too.
But
Yeah,
it's like
Deadpool
when
didn't have
people,
hair.
when you see someone draw horns on Peter's face in the trailer, and your
Mephisto.
Mephisto confirmed. Yeah,
Mephisto.
it's the same kind of thing.
Deadpool confirmed. There it is.
I would love to see Deadpool being featured in more stuff now that they literally can do that, but
I'm wondering why they don't mix him in with one of these what ifs.
I think that would be a great thing to do.
Why
But
wouldn't they?
it's probably something to do with how they're introducing mutants and what that's going to entail. And we might have some idea maybe with Spider-Man.
So maybe then, as the mutants are introduced within the MCU, within the Prime timeline, they'll start branching out a little more, saying, okay, now we can do some what ifs with the X-Men and with Deadpool and Fantastic Four and all the other ones.
And they might just decide to do something really clever with the Deadpool movie itself, because like it was funny in those movies, he's always complaining about how no one's ever at the X Mansion except for like the other characters in the movie. And so the second one, he's like, maybe we could get some of those younger generations to do something. What are they up to? And like the whole cast of the newer Fox movies was saying about it, they like shut the door on him, and he's just like, wait a minute, what the hell was that? So like a joke, something like that, would definitely be worth it. But they could do even more. Like now, kind of the sky's the limit with what they want to do. I've seen a lot of people say things like that he should take over like the Stan Lee type cameos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could use him for that, but I think they're just going to keep doing other things to commemorate Stan Lee. But do you think are they gonna start, do you think, having another type of cameo in every movie? Or do you think that's over now?
I think they're gonna continue with Stan Lee, but it'll be like in Deadpool 2, he was, when they were in the skydiving scene, he was a picture on a billboard, I think.
And Venom, he was on the magazine.
He was on the magazine, yeah.
Do
I
you
think
think they're
just
gonna keep doing stuff like that?
Like maybe they'll have him on a TV, doing a TV interview that he did years back, and it's just playing in the background. I was like, oh, there's Stan Lee. Okay.
Or maybe on the side of a bus or something like that.
That'd be a solid way to keep doing that. One of my favorites, oh man, was in actually like the Amazing Spider-Man, I think, in the library when he's the librarian. And like I think it's the Lizard.
It was the first
Spider,
one, yeah.
are just going nuts. And,
And he's got his headphones on.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, that and don't make me come down there, you punk. And I'm just gonna say all of them. The Iron Man one, they always mistake him for like Hugh Hefner or something like that. That's always great. Oh, when he takes the shot in, that's another reason to like Age of Ultron. His cameo in that.
Yep, this is a World War II veteran.
This was not made for mortal men.
Neither was
Neither was
Omaha.
Omaha Beach. For the drink, Blondie. Excelsior. I miss him. Anything else about this episode of What If? Definitely does seem like one of the ones that they're setting up for a part 2. You know, the Captain America one also, that, I mean, she just got to the future, so I assume they're gonna move on somewhere with that. The Doctor Strange one was actually one of the ones with the most complete ending. I mean, he literally ended his universe. Doesn't seem like there's much you can do from that without like literally finding a way to go through different universes. And I don't know if he'll ever learn how to do that in his little crystal bubble.
He might find a way to break out of that crystal bubble. I mean, he's got plenty of time to think.
It's true. And he's got like tons of demons.
Yeah.
That's not a metaphor.
Literally.
Okay? He's got demons in him. It's like you've got ghosts in your blood. I don't know what you take for that. I hope the dog is featured prominently in this show.
Well,
and not just on the poster. I want to see more of Fido.
Well, if it follows the comics, it's Pizza Dog.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Pizza Dog.
You gotta tell me. I could say the same thing about the dog from Futurama, Pizza Dog. Yeah, it's a dog that hangs out with him at the pizza shop or Pizza Dog. What is Pizza Dog?
Oh my gosh, that's the second Futurama thing we've had.
I don't know. Hawkeye has a dog. He's either fully blind or partially blind, and I think he likes pizza or something. I tried to look it up, and I forgot to write down what I found out. But anyways, yeah, he's known as Pizza Dog.
I guess it's just the shadow hitting that dog. That looked to me like a brown dog, but it is, I think, the golden retriever or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's pause it on the dog. Pizza Dog. I want to find out more about this. I'm going to be Googling Pizza Dog.
It's a thing. I promise.
Probably not as cool as the Guardians of the Galaxy dog if you talk. I think he's going to be in the new game. Actually, that's something we could do. Let's see. Although now that you mentioned it about that dog, I do remember thinking that his eye looked like a star or something like that, and I was like, man, that's because he's a one-eyed dog.
I don't even remember seeing the dog in the.
It's a quick.
Yeah, he's sitting on the couch.
Be back in a day or two. Hang on a second. Things have gotten more complicated.
So many projectiles. It's no wonder you
There
ended
he
up with a blinded dog.
Yeah, it
his
does look like he has it
one-eyed,
on.
Yeah. Pizza Dog. Yay.
There's got to be more. There's got to be a reason that he's called Pizza Dog. That can't just be like, what do you want to name him? Pizza Dog.
He likes pizza.
There's got to be a reason.
We need to get Pizza Dog and the Flurkin together.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's already lost an eye. You want him to lose another one?
That's how he lost the eye. The last time he trusted somebody, he lost an eye.
No, dogs know better than to trust cats or cats. Alrighty. Well, I think that just about does it for us this week.
I think the next episode is Party Thor.
Party Thor.
Party Thor.
From what I understand, Party Thor.
So we're going to have a big fat Thor again?
Nah, I don't think so. I think this is the normal Thor.
But But he parties.
But he parties.
Yes, revels.
Kind of like I don't know, he kind of a party animal, and
Does
Thor one.
does he party, or is it like, I don't know, like a 420 kind of party?
In this universe, deciding to take drugs has turned Thor into a party boy.
He likes dubstep.
Fascinating. I love dubstep. That would be a great time to throw Deadpool into the mix. Finally.
Party.
I thought all you guys were prudes. This is awesome. Okay. Anyway, that's it for us tonight on MCU Mondays. We got one more thing.
One more thing, just real quick. This is a personal plug. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week is the Dallas Fan Expo, Dallas Comic-Con. And yours truly and John Biscardi from The Geek and I will be at that Comic-Con doing our Geek News Now thing, covering the con. So if you're in the area and you're in Dallas and you want to go to the Comic-Con, look for us there. We'll be there. That's all I got.
Have any special guests?
Yes, actually, Shatner will be there. George Takei will be there. All 4 of the Hobbits were supposed to be there, but I think they canceled. Yeah, no.
Too much long bottom leaf.
What's his name? Zachary Quinto. He's going to be there. I mean, it's a good lineup. It'll be nice. It'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, if you're in Dallas and you want to come see us, come meet the Geek News Now crew.
And I assume there will be updates going up to geeknewsnow.net.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We'll try and do live feeds and everything. So
sweet. And what is that again?
That is this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Boom.
There he is.
Yep. That sounds like a great weekend. Tell us all about it next week at 9:30 when we come back for MCU Mondays. And Dave's doing autographs for only $25. That is
darn right. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a steal.
Woo!
You gotta take advantage
on my
of that.
part.
I finally got a chance to use it and I wasn't ready.
Shut up and take my money.
Alrighty then.
There we go.
All right, but anyway, that's it for us tonight. We'll see you next. I hadn't done that the entire time either. So, yeah, we'll be back next Monday at 9:30, as we always are for MCU Mondays, talking about Party Thor and whatever else happens over this next week.